of the dabbling hook. I am having some Merlot tea. The white Merlot, so much better in tea. And I'm once again on my phone because it was too much of a hassle to pull out the computer, plug in the, what do you call it, the cam, and all that setup. So I'm on my phone, so my eye will be wandering. All right. So you guys saw a couple of videos, hopefully, that I put out there. One was the tutorial. I'm going to try really hard not looking at myself. On how I make my faux fur pom-pom. Now there are other tutorials out there, but that's the way I make mine and it works for me so far. So hopefully it was helpful to you guys. The other thing was the 20 questions video that I put out earlier today. So what are we going to talk about? The fairs, really. Everything I've been making is pretty much has been for the fairs. So I did have back-to-back, yes, Kim, of Blue Cherry Lady 2. I did have back-to-back. This is my last, was it my last? My last back-to-back. I had one last month. I think it was last month. Yes, last month. So this is my last one back-to-back. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go. Should have been 3, or it would have been 3, but I got contacted by a local business. They're having I guess a little shopping event, and they are, it's a new brewery slash eatery that opened up in town, and they found me, so I'm gonna give it a try. All right. Oh, so good. Okay, let's hope I don't knock anything over. Wearing a shirt. Crochet all day. I just found the yarn ball and I made it up on Vistaprint. So if you guys ever want to see how a shirt with your logo and such looks, Vistaprint's always having sales on something at some point or other. So you could print up one shirt and see how it looks and see if you like it before you find somewhere else and, you know, mass produce or something. But let's see. I should being on my phone again is really hard to not look at myself on the screen. Okay, first thing, have you guys been watching the videos on COPPA, the Child Online Privacy Protection Act? It's a little scary. I think somebody, maybe it was Jane of Scraptastic Yarns, at some point a few months ago had brought up, I think that or something similar, where it was going to affect a lot of the makers, especially, I guess, female makers, because we tend to, I guess, do things that would appeal to children, especially those of us who do amigurumi, especially. And I've been watching a bunch of videos, and it's very concerning. It's one thing to have to label your video as what is it called? Geared towards children, even though that's not what we do, but you know, kids would watch our videos, or a lot of us do have kids in our videos. But one of the things that concerned me was that they're going to turn off comments, and okay, they're turning off the ads. Didn't have it before, I could live without it. Not that I've even gotten anything out of it, but to turn off comments for anything that they deem that's geared towards children, it's concerning, because then we have not only do they turn off comments, but they're going to turn off notifications. So if anybody has notifications on, you won't get notifications for those types of videos. So yeah, I'm still watching a lot of videos. I have a couple saved just so I can go back, and they're all pretty much saying change is coming, but to what extent? There are a couple of videos that go into detail that I have saved, but we have till January, so that's going to come real quick. And then the fine involved per video, that's extreme. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, what else? The winners of the, I will put that in now, of the I would pull it out, but it's buried under stuff. The 2 knitting books and the crochet book and the magazine or the cardigan pamphlet. I am going to pick the winner or winners for the knit pick booklets and the buttons. So knit and crochet had to be entered in your comment, so let us see. 62 unique commenters. All right, first winner is Beth's Yarn Tales. Knit and crochet, I do both. Awesome, so Beth, you get to pick which one you want first. So let's see who, or I should say you get to pick which one you want first, yeah. Pick another winner. Let's see. Dawn Rick, knit and crochet. I learned to crochet about 15 years. Oh, sorry. I learned to knit about 15 years ago. And I started to lose my vision. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, it's a t-shirt, but it's okay. All right. So, Dawn, I hope you'll be able to use whichever one is left. So, you guys, my information will be down below. Send me an email and let me know. Thanks. Bye. And the buttons. So the first one was Beth's Yarn Tales. You get to let me know which one you prefer, the knitting packet or the crochet packet. And then Dawn Rick was the winner number 2. So my information will be down below. Send me an email, and if I hear from you this week, hopefully I can get it in the mail at the end of the week. If not, it'll be next week. All right. Pretty much, like I said, everything I've been doing has been for the fairs. So I've got things all over because I've been very ill prepared this week. Let's see. Let me do this first. Whips. Right now my active whip is, uh-oh, I lost something. Gootin' darn it. All right, I'll have to go find it. My active whip, I'm making it's supposed to be a baby hat, but it might be a little big. The other one that I need to find, of course it's nowhere around. Oh, I thought I put them all together. I made a little baby hat, and if I can't find it, I'll put a picture that, wow, I have no idea where I put it. I'll put a picture on the screen. One of my coworkers, the one who used to buy all my amigurumis, she's on sabbatical, she asked for a couple of baby hats. So I haven't made a baby hat in a while, other than the ones I make for donation. So I crocheted one, and I'm knitting one, and I told her I'd make one for newborn, and then I make one a little bigger, and I may have gone a little too big, but they do grow so fast, so we'll see. But I'm knitting this one, and yeah, so it's just I love this yarn in pewter and one of the gray or silver colors from Knit Picks held together, because I wanted it to go a little faster, because if I do something just in worsted weight, it'll take forever. And I'm a little warm, one because of drinking my Merlot tea, and because of what I have on my head. So you guys would have seen, hopefully, that Karen of Happiness is Homemade just released her second pattern, and it is for the Raspberry Stitch Air Warmer. And I tested it for her, but yeah, I'm wearing double headbands. I tested it for her while I was at the fair. I used sheepish yarn, and I thought it was a little thin, so I added a couple of repeats to it, and then it came out a little too wide, so I ended up, to me, came out very wide, so I ended up just doubling it, which made it in this yarn, because sheepish is, there's wool in it, so it makes it very plump, very squishy, and extra warm because it's doubled. So I think this color was magenta-ish, I don't remember. It's been in my stash for a very long time. But yeah, her pattern is now out there. She's also running a sale in her Etsy store, so head on over and go grab yourself a copy. And Gilda Gnome, if you hadn't gotten it before, is also on sale. So it's a 2-for-1 almost. And don't mind the hair. It's the hair. Okay, let me find my notes. So that's that. All right. It's all going to be about the fair. Fair number 1 was on Saturday, and it was in my hometown. It was first time I've done it, and because it's the first time, I guess you could say it was okay, but it did not meet my threshold. I was about almost $80 under my under my threshold, and traffic wise, I guess they had 2 locations. Not guess, they had 2 locations, and from, I didn't get to see the other location, but from what other people were saying, there's quite a bit of distance between where we were in the cafeteria and where everyone else was in the gym. And so the traffic, I guess, I think it was easy for people once they got to the gym to look around and then turn around and walk out, rather than doing the extra however long it was to come where we were. That's not to say there wasn't traffic. It was good, but it could have been better. It was my first time. I did have a lovely neighbor that we were able to chat and just talk about vending and so on and so forth. So that always makes it so much better when you're not just there, you know, pacing the floor and have no one to talk to or nothing to do. Well, not nothing to do, because I always have yarn, but it was just nice to have an engaging neighbor, which made it better. What sold? I just realized I'm recording on my phone and I was keeping a list on my phone, but if I can remember, this whole weekend was about the Victrina hat, which just totally made me happy. On Saturday I sold a few. Both days were not toy days. I sold three toys on Saturday. They were, if I can find the picture I'll put it in, but they were 2 kitty puffs. They were like mini pillows that it was part of the Underground Crafters Softie along. I think it was from, might have been from this year's, I don't remember, or it could have been from last year's. But this woman came and she said her mom would love it, and so she bought one for herself, one for her mom, and then somebody else bought what did she buy? She bought the octo I made out of the red heart yarn I bought from Hirschner's, which is, I think it was the Pink Panther colorway. I don't remember, but the variegated pink one. She bought that. So I sold 3 toys. I don't remember how many Victrina hats that I sold, and I don't remember, but it was enough. I made my table. I was way over my table fee, but it didn't meet my threshold, and yeah, the traffic could have been better coming through. Everyone was lovely though, so that made it okay. I don't know if I will do that one again. The only saving grace, it's right there. It's like less than 10 minutes away from home, so that was awesome. Sunday now. Sunday was the fair that I was worried about, because I did it last year and it was great. People shopped, but the Wi-Fi was not the best, and the Wi-Fi prolonged or prohibited a few sales. So that was my big concern to the organizer when she reached out again, and she said they were working on it, and turned out they worked on it. I guess her husband was able to set up a separate Wi-Fi connection just for the vendors, so it was so good. The people there were awesome. There was one lady who spent the most all in one, because she bought for herself, or I think they were her nieces. She bought hats. And she would come and look, and they weren't sure, she wasn't sure. Then I had like 4 hats off to the side while she roamed around, and she came back, and she ended up coming back with her, and she was there last year too, and she ended up coming back with her sister and her sister-in-law, so they were awesome. I sold, I want to say I sold maybe like 5 Victrina. if I remember while I'm editing, I'll put what number on the screen, but if not, I sold at least 5 Victrina hats, and those are the ones that I ended up raising my price for because of the faux fur pom-poms. I never took into account the cost of the faux fur pom-poms last year, so I definitely changed that this year, and nobody blinked. Ah, beautiful. Nobody blinked. So there were a couple of pictures I posted on Instagram of an 8-year-old who fit into the regular size Victrina beanie, and there was another girl who tried one on and she just looked so cute in it, so she let me take her picture and I posted that as well. I sold 2 big button cows, so I need to make at least 1 more or 2 more for the rest of the shows. I sold quite a few of my 2-button cowls, which was awesome because so far it's always been my bestseller, but so far this year it hasn't been, so that was awesome. Toys, I think I sold a jellyfish and I think a small, I'll have to go back and look, a small octo, a keyring octo. Yes, I sold a keyring octo and I think a seahorse. But toys were definitely, this weekend was not a toy weekend. What else? So because I sold my York hat, which for some reason writing the pattern it's resisting me for some reason. So I wanted to do a looser hat, which this one is. It's using the bigger, oh, I cannot talk today. It's using the bigger needles, but the size for the big one, I think, is just, for me, it's just too big. It'll be too loose. So now I am not back to the drawing board, but the base size that I had tested works. So many people picked that up, and that's happened in a couple of fairs too. For some reason, they gravitate towards the York hat. I just can't seem to get my button gear and finish writing it up. But I had, between Saturday and Sunday, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, I had 5. I came home with 2, but they were tried on so many times. So I've already made one in the base size. And this is the, I always forget the colorway name. Speaking of colorway, who was I watching? And I've got fluff. They did a video on why we use colorway instead of color. Color is more for the solid color, red, blue, green. Colorway is basically if you have a variegated yarn, something with multiple colors in it. So I thought that was interesting. I have no idea where I saw that. That was like a couple of days ago. But York, I need to get this out, but I also need to make a few more for the craft fairs. I'm going to take this one with me and see. It is for, I did have somebody who was looking for a hat, and usually people say they have big heads, and really they don't. They just don't think they look good in hats. But this lady had a pretty sizable head, and she was trying on hats, like so many of them, and so I'm wondering, this may be good for her, but it's so few and far between that people really have the ginormous heads. So I'm not sure about this one. I might keep it and call it the extra large, or I don't know. But I need to work on that. But this size that the guys tested for me, that's the way to go. I'm even contemplating just doing just the one size, but I don't know yet. So that's York. The other hat that I made up on the fly, and I made 2 of them, and I thought I had written at least notes down, and I cannot find it anywhere, and I can't figure out what I did. I mean, I can see what I did, but it's not working out when I try to recreate it. This was, so this was tried on. One of them sold, but this was tried on or looked at so many times. Yeah. And it's using my purled single crochet, not my, but purled single crochet that I like. And I am glowing because it's quite warm in here. So I'm trying to figure out what I did. Reverse engineering, I guess. So that baby hat that I did that I can't find, I actually did a mini version and it doesn't quite look the same. Maybe it's because it's the difference in yarn, I'm not sure. But that's that. What else can I say about fair number 2? The people were great. The customers were awesome. A couple of them did try, now that I'm buying this many, do you want a discount? I gave her a 5% discount because, I wasn't in the discount giving mood. What else? Oh, on Saturday's craft fair, I had a repeat customer. So last year at one of my fairs, she's the one who bought the, actually, she bought it in this. She bought my fringe triangle cowl, and this one, I don't know if you can see, yep, has sparkles in it. She bought my fringe triangle cowl and loved it so much. She also bought a hat, a Victrina hat to go, just to have. And then this year when it got cold enough and she started wearing her hat, some of her colleagues were asking, and one of them even messaged me. So she had also shown up back at this year's fair last month and bought another fringe triangle cowl and another hat and a hat for her daughter. Well, when her friend wanted the hat and she was stuck at work, she ended up driving from where she was all the way to where I was on in my hometown on Saturday to come buy the hat for her friend, and she also bought a hat for her daughter. So I gave her a discount because she's a repeat customer and she's awesome. But yeah, Sunday was pretty awesome. Oh, headbands. Headbands didn't sell much on Saturday, but headbands sold quite a few on Sunday as well. So 2 button cowls, big button cowls, Victrina, and the headbands. Those were my big things. There were toys. Definitely was not a big toy weekend at all. And the place that we were, they were having functions on Sunday, tryouts or some sports stuff. So the organizer tried her best to get people to, funnel. She was at the door saying, "Hey, we're having a craft fair over here," to funnel them there. So they were kids, but not a lot of kid type shopping. So I've been working on stuff to replace some of what sold, mainly the Victrina hat. And with that would mean I have to do pom-poms, the faux fur pom-poms. While they look great, I'm not a fan of making them because the sewing part. Yeah, that's tedious. But I don't need to make headbands, but as I am using yarn and whatever's left over, I am making headbands. So this is the grape, I think, no, the raisin colorway of Thick and Quick and the Fisherman. I had a little left of both. And then this was just a black I made a Victrina out of. So this is, again, I always forget the colorway. This is more the purpley sparkle Thick and Quick. This is showing a tad more red on camera, but it's more purple, like that. So I had not a full skein, so I tried making a really small one out of it. So once I put a big pom-pom on that will be awesome for a kid. I made another one, and this is yarn. This is the bonus bundle that Debbie had sent me, and it's the cranberry colorway. So I got one out of it, and I definitely will be able to get a second one out of it. So it's awaiting pom-poms. This is the black that I used the rest of for the headband. And then this is more of the wine color. Oh yeah, right there. I love the sparkle. These really catch the eye of people. Oh, you can kind of see the difference here. So this is more the wine. This is more grapey grape, purpley grape. So these definitely catch the eye, and with a big pom-pom on top, yeah, those went real quick. So yeah, I think that's all I have going on right now. Oh, last night I made, I had a headband from a year, 2 years ago, when I was clearing out stuff in the garage that's been sitting around. There's a headband in there that I took apart, and I used the yarn. This was Big Twist Premium. So I just made a jellyfish to replace the couple that sold. And yeah, nothing really exciting going on other than craft fairs. I don't have one this coming weekend. Pardon me. My next one is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So, and that's at a school, and this will be my 3rd year there. First year was great, last year wasn't as good, so I'm hoping. I already have a twice repeat customer who messaged me looking for these, so I need to make a few more to make sure I don't run out. So she's gonna come. She and her daughters have bought quite a few of my hats in the past, so she's looking forward to that. So I am as well. Acquisitions though, I'm all out of order this time. That soft yarn band or yarn slowdown. Before I do that, I bought only some of the colors that people were drawn to. For the 2-button cowls and such, I just picked up, because AC Moore is having a sale, so I just picked up a couple just to replace the ones that sold. But speaking of acquisitions, I bought a couple of Christmas presents at Sunday's show, and one of the vendors there was a potter, and she had the most beautiful bowls and cups and stuff. What I like about hers is it's not thoroughly polished. It looks, I don't want it to sound, it looks handmade, but in that warm, inviting handmade, not like so commercial polished. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I bought that from her. And there was another one that I saw earlier in the day, but it sold, which was good for her. But yeah, I love the colors in this, and the bottom looks like that, and it's very, very rough. But she did say it's dishwasher and microwave safe, which is always a plus. So that is for me. That's not a Christmas present, or it's a Christmas present to myself. Other things I bought, I was at Joann's looking for, or I went back to get some more of the faux fur that people were more drawn to, which is, oh, don't fall. So I have this and that, and these two are cut the same size. These are the big sizes. When I do it in this one, which is the fox, I think, it's so much smaller than this. And it is a silver fox, because I bought some more, and this one just, so if you go to Joann's, and I just cut these today and shook it out on the deck. If you do, the silver fox is the name, and it is, they were having a good sale, and I should have bought more, but we were in a hurry. It's normally $44 a yard. It was on sale for 40% off, and they also had a 25% off your entire purchase, including sales. So I ended up getting it basically for 65% off, which was great. So Silver Fox is definitely was the winner, pom-pom winner. But this one is so much thinner and lighter, and even though they're the same size cut, this makes a pom-pom that's almost like, you know, half bigger than this one. Anywho, that's that. But while I was in there and I got my faux fur to make more pom-poms, I saw they had the gopher, and I think Walmart carries the big skein. This one only has 24 yards in it, and I had to reskein it because it just flopped all over the place, or re-roll it into a ball. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I almost bought the one at Walmart, which was like $15, and this was $8, I think. Yeah. So that's that. So what I got for acquisitions, just some woolies, and I think this is wheat. You probably can't see with this bad lighting. I tried earlier to record, but you know, I was working and it was just no opportunity. I got some Stitch Studio Earth Tone Bulky. I love Earth Tone. It's soft. I love the Tweety flex in it. I have a couple of skeins of the big worsted weight one, which is pretty huge, but I love the bulky. I double it to make my 2-button cowls, and I made one in navy that was scooped up really quick. So I figured I'll just try. These are some of the colors that people were drawn to. I had a 2-button cowl in the Hometown USA that was similar to that colorway, and that was picked up. I also got it in, this is garnet and this is grape. So I'm gonna make that into a 2-button cowl. And then I said before I don't have a lot of black yarn in my stash, but the black hats have been popular, the Victrina, so I picked up 2. So I have 1 there. I need to make 2 more to have, and I think that's it. Oh, I picked up some E6000 with a 60% off coupon at AC Moore because all the yarn was on sale, because my mannequin head broke and I need to see if I can glue it and have it hold. But they do get abused pretty aggressively. So, the other thing I tried at the fair I bought from another vendor. I don't like polishing my nails because I always smudge it before it's, you know, fully dry. But one of the vendors there, she bought a hat from me. I think she bought the green hat, the other green hat. So I figured I might as well try it, and I don't think it lasts. The other thing, nail polish doesn't last on me because I'm constantly in water and it chips and and then it looks bad, and then I'm too lazy to take it off, and it's just so. I'm testing it out just on the thumbs to see how long they last, because there's another set in here and we'll see. So yeah. Oh, almost forgot. Last time I hadn't done the I don't think I showed it. I hadn't done the squares. So I hadn't done, was it 21 and 22 came out, or 20 and 21 came out, but I caught up. The one I hadn't done is the linen stitch. So that's done, and again, it's just Big Twist Premium, and then this is the cluster V-stitch, which I quite like. Actually, that's in this, so I knew the stitch because this headband is about 5 years old. So that was cool. And on that note, I think I'm done. Beth and Dawn, let me know and send me an email with your addresses. And Beth, you get to choose which one that you want. And I'm gonna finish my Merlot tea, and yeah, I think that's it. And I'm very glistening. On that note, we're supposed to get snow, a little snow tonight, I think. Oh, it snowed at the end of Sunday's craft fair as we're packing up to go. Just not a dusting that covered the grass, but didn't last too long. But ooh, yeah, that's never fun, especially at the end of the day. So we're supposed to get some overnight. I'm hoping it's enough that I don't have to drive into work, but probably not. All right, have a good night. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.